It's wild to think how quickly things change online, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
One minute you feel like you've got a handle on things, social media maybe, and then suddenly there's this whole new layer. AI, generative search.
Yeah.
It's honestly enough to make your head spin with all the new acronyms.
hmm
So if you're feeling like you're sort of playing catch-up in this evolving digital world, trust me, you are definitely in good company.
You really are. The speed of innovation is frankly breathtaking sometimes, and it's perfectly normal to feel a bit lost in, the fog of new terms and trying to figure out what they actually mean for you.
Well, that's precisely why we're diving in today. Our mission really is simple. We want to demystify this new landscape for you.
hmm
We're going to unpack the ideas behind AEO, GEO, and LLM SEO. We've got that great Start and Grow Your Business YouTube video as a source for that part.
Yeah, that was a good
And
one.
then we'll switch gears a bit to some really hands-on practical tactics for like supercharging your Google Business Profile, your GBP. We're using the Google Business Profile Masterclass 2025 video as our guide there.
And, to paint a more complete picture for what things might look like in 2025, we'll also explore how these specific actions connect with the broader world of SEO.
Okay.
So we'll be drawing on some smart perspectives from that Arvis video on navigating SEO in the AI era, and also the Arvow video on getting your content seen by platforms like ChatGPT.
Exactly. Look, you're here because you want to get informed, and you probably want to get there efficiently, right?
Yeah.
So we promise we'll give you the essential knowledge, the actionable steps, without hopefully burying you under a mountain of information.
Let's try.
Okay, let's unpack this. These new SEO concepts, AEO, GEO, and LLM SEO, I mean, they sound complicated, but that Start and Grow Your Business video actually did a pretty good job breaking them down.
They really did, and grasping the subtle differences between them is going to be vital as AI gets more and more integrated into how people find information online.
Okay, where do we start? AEO.
Yeah, let's kick off with AEO. That stands for Answer Engine Optimization.
Right, so AEO is focused on the search engines we already know pretty well, like Google Search, Bing Search.
Exactly. And also those voice assistants like Siri or Alexa.
Wow.
The main aim here, according to the video, is really to have your content pop up in those featured snippets and direct answers.
Those boxes at the top of Google.
Precisely. Especially when people ask follow-up questions, that's the AEO sweet spot.
So it's less about just ranking #1 and more about being the answer.
That's a great way to put it. It's about whether your content is seen as the best source to directly answer a user's specific question.
Okay. And how do you actually do that? What are the strategies?
Well, they're quite practical, actually. We're talking about creating FAQ-style content.
Like a dedicated FAQ page.
That, or even just structuring your regular content differently, using subheadings that are phrased as actual questions people might ask.
Okay, so it makes it really clear what problem you're solving.
Exactly. And to help search engines understand the meaning even better, you can use something called structured data.
Structured data. Like code.
Sort of. Think of it as specific tags you add to your website. It helps search engines understand, for instance, this is a question and this is the answer.
Right.
So marking up an FAQ section is a classic example. And of course, the answers themselves need to be clear, concise, and directly address the question. That's absolutely key.
Makes sense.
And the video rightly pointed out, this isn't just about, pleasing Google. It genuinely helps your potential customers by giving them the information they need quickly, which can really make a difference in their decision to, say, buy from you or contact you.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, that's AEO. Now, let's move on to GEO, Generative Engine Optimization. This feels like the newer frontier, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
We're talking platforms like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Google's AI assistant when it generates those big answers.
Exactly that. The goal with GEO is different. It's about having your content recognized and actually used as a credible source when these AI platforms generate their answers.
So, like, your content becomes part of the AI's response.
Potentially, yes. Think of it as a piece of the puzzle the AI uses to build its answer to a user's query.
Okay, so how do you optimize for that? Are the tactics similar to AEO?
Some overlap, definitely. You still need that FAQ style and answer-based content structure. That helps.
But there's more to it.
Yes. The video also highlighted the importance of creating what they called semantically rich content.
Semantically rich. Okay, what does that mean in plain English?
It means going beyond just the surface-level answer. Think about not just answering what is X, but also why is X important, or how does X work, or what are the implications?
Providing the context.
Exactly. Providing background information, relevant context, maybe a unique perspective or some added value within your content. So the AI has more substance to draw from and understands how different concepts relate.
Got it. Giving the AI the bigger picture, not just isolated facts. Okay, and then there's the third one, LLM SEO, large language model SEO.
Right.
This also targets AI models like ChatGPT, but the video emphasized a slightly different angle here.
Yes, exactly. While it definitely overlaps with GEO, both aim to influence AI outputs, LLM SEO really focuses more on positioning your content as something that the AI actively learns from.
Learns from.
Yeah, something it consistently references and ultimately recommends to users because it trusts your information. It's about becoming like a go-to source in the AI's brain.
Okay, wow, that sounds ambitious. How do you achieve that?
Well, this is where the idea of creating truly, amazing content really comes into play.
Right.
The strategies here lean heavily on demonstrating clear authority in your niche.
Authority, like proving you know your stuff.
Exactly. Backing up claims with plenty of facts, credible references, providing really in-depth coverage of topics, showcasing genuine expert-level writing.
So really high-quality stuff.
Absolutely. And what's really interesting, as the video pointed out, is that these aren't just tricks to please an algorithm.
No.
No, they're fundamentally sound usability practices anyway. When you invest in creating high-quality, authoritative content, it naturally benefits your human audience too.
Right, people looking for reliable info.
Precisely. And it helps the AI models trying to deliver that info, so it boosts your brand's reputation, trustworthiness.
It's a true win-win then. You create something genuinely valuable, serve your audience, and increase your chances of being recognized by AI.
That's the idea.
The video did acknowledge, though, that all this new terminology can feel like alphabet soup. And honestly, it kind of does.
It absolutely can. But understanding these subtle yet important distinctions is becoming increasingly vital.
Why vital?
Because as AI continues its rapid evolution and integrates further into how we all seek and find information, the way we approach content creation, optimization, it just needs to adapt.
Right, to make sure our message actually reaches people, whether they're humans or AI. Okay, so we've got a better handle now, hopefully, on AEO, GEO, and LLM SEO. Let's pivot to something incredibly practical, especially for businesses with a local focus. Optimizing your Google Business Profile, your GBP.
Ah, yes, the GBP. Crucial for local visibility.
That Google Business Profile Masterclass 2025 video was absolutely packed with actionable advice. A real goldmine of practical tips, you might say.
It really was. And as that masterclass stressed, having a strong, well-optimized GBP is just foundational for building trust with the local customers and, standing out in those local search results.
Totally. Okay, Module 1 in that video focused on building for success. It all starts with correctly setting up or claiming your profile right. Sounds basic, but getting it right matters.
It really does. The video clearly walked through how to check if your business already has a listing. You just search your business name and address in Google Maps.
And if it's there,
then you need to go through the process of claiming it, proving you're the owner. If it doesn't exist, you can register it from scratch. Apparently, you can just right-click on the map where your business is.
Huh, okay.
They mentioned you can skip adding photos and descriptions initially, but the strong advice was, go back and fill out everything as completely as possible later.
Right. Give Google and potential customers the full picture.
Exactly. And then comes verification, confirming you're legit.
How does that work?
It can happen a few ways. Phone call, maybe a quick video recording showing your premises, the old-fashioned postcard to your address, or sometimes email.
And it takes how long?
Could be minutes, could be days. It varies. But once you're verified, that's when the fun starts, as they put it.
The fun part, which is
adding your website, booking links if you take appointments, showcasing your products, creating posts like updates or offers, and crucially, actively working to get customer reviews.
Those reviews seem really important.
They are. A GBP that's rich in info and has good recent reviews, that's a powerful signal to Google that your business is active, legitimate, and valued, which boosts your local visibility.
Makes sense. Now, the video also tackled something that can cause real panic for business owners. GBP suspensions.
Oof, yes. Handling and ideally preventing suspensions. That was vital information.
Absolutely.
And as the video emphasized, the strength of your GBP really relies on the credibility of the brand behind it. You have to understand and follow Google's guidelines meticulously.
Okay, so what are the big no-nos? They listed 10 common reasons.
They did. Things like obviously adding fake reviews, trying to manipulate signals, like clicking your own listing a bunch,
Right.
having multiple profiles for the same actual business location, stuffing keywords into your business name. That's a classic mistake.
People still do that.
Apparently. Also, getting too many reviews all at once can look suspicious.
Interesting. What else?
Choosing the wrong primary business category, using generic stock photos instead of real pictures of your business.
Authenticity matters.
Big time. Also, not responding to customer inquiries that come through your profile, deliberately creating duplicate listings.
Yeah.
And using a P.O. box or a virtual office address, Google wants a real physical location.
Got it. And wasn't there a slightly cheeky tip in there, too, about competitors?
Yes. Let's call it proactive tip. If you see a competitor breaking the rules, get 3 different people with different Google accounts to report them.
Wow. Shows how competitive local search can be, doesn't it?
It certainly underscores that you need to play by the rules, but also be aware of what others are doing.
Okay, moving into Module 5, that masterclass. This was about actively optimizing visibility. This felt like where the real practical tactics came thick and fast.
Absolutely. They shared, I think it was 25 key tips, a really comprehensive list that can seriously move the needle on your local presence.
Like what? What stood out?
Well, things like valuing your entire review history, even older reviews count. Aiming for a solid base, maybe 10+ reviews to get traction.
And filling everything out, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that was a huge theme. Completeness. Fill the Google database with info. Detailed descriptions, videos, photos, FAQs, Q&As. List all your services, your products, the more the better.
Makes sense. Feed the beast.
Pretty much. And regular posts like weekly updates keep it looking active and fresh. That was strongly recommended. Choosing a clear, representative cover photo. Engaging with every review, positive or negative. Showing community involvement if you have it. Pinning important FAQs.
Pinning FAQs, how does that help?
Puts key info right at the top for customers. Also, showcasing your team to personalize things, using the insights data in your GBP dashboard.
The analytics bit.
Right. See how people find you, mobile versus desktop, maps versus search. Stay updated on business categories. Use UTM codes on your website links.
UTM codes to track traffic from the GBP.
Exactly. Monitor your profile for any weird changes or suggestions from Google. Make sure your website linked from the GBP is fast on mobile. Double-check your map pin accuracy.
Little details that matter.
They add up. Use a clear, high-contrast, ideally square logo. Resist the urge to stuff keywords in your business title again.
Don't do it.
Don't use stock photos.
Yeah.
Double down on keywords that are working for you based on your insights. Add seasonal photos, use video, list services clearly.
Keep an eye on competitors, too.
Yeah, see what they're doing well. Use AI maybe for ideas for posts, but always personalize it. And link your social profiles for extra credibility.
Wow. Okay. That is a lot. Very actionable list, though.
Extremely actionable.
And Module 6 dug deeper into reviews specifically, didn't it? Managing reviews, underscoring how vital they are for trust and ranking.
Yes, and they shared that great anecdote from Morocco about the hotel staff getting Google reviews proactively.
Oh, yeah, that was clever. What were the key takeaways from that?
It came down to a few principles. Timing. Approach guests when they're relaxed. Targeting. Specifically ask for Google reviews. Guidance. Offer hands-on help to make it easy. Urgency. Create a reason to do it now. And proof. They even took photos of the submitted reviews.
That's dedication. But those lessons apply anywhere, right?
Absolutely. Asking for a review right after a positive interaction like a completed sale or service makes so much sense.
Definitely. Okay, and the final modules. They touched on advanced strategies in the future.
Briefly, yeah. Mainly stressing the need to stand out with advanced tactics and stay informed about changes, especially with AI and things like SGE, the Search Generative Experience.
The AI-powered search results.
Right. The core message was a well-optimized GBP is probably going to be even more critical in that future AI-driven search world.
So focus on
accurate opening times, great cover photo, correct categories, comprehensive FAQs, and a steady stream of reviews. Those seem key for future visibility.
And they mentioned a bundle.
The Google Business Branding Bundle, GBBB. Basically, thinking about your GBP, your website, your social media, and your online citations all working together. Consistency across the board.
Makes sense. A unified brand presence.
And the overarching principle, especially now with AI, right for humans first, not robots.
Always good advice. Okay, so we've covered a ton on GBP. Now let's try and connect this back, zoom out a bit to the broader SEO landscape for 2025. using those insights from Ahrefs and Arval.
Right. Context is key.
The Ahrefs video really put a spotlight on AI's impact, didn't it?
It certainly did. They talked about the flood of, frankly, low-quality AI-generated content recently and how Google's trying to crack down on that.
Prioritizing valuable original stuff.
Exactly. They emphasized that the old fundamentals, keywords, content, backlinks, they still matter, but they're not enough on their own anymore.
So what is enough? What's the shift?
The major shift they discussed is moving away from just writing for algorithms, trying to game the system, towards being truly user-obsessed, creating content that's genuinely useful, engaging, and directly solves the searcher's underlying need. Understanding the intent, the why behind the query.
The why, that seems critical.
It really is, deeply understanding what the user is trying to do. And the refs folks also said, look, embrace AI tools as assistants.
For brainstorming, data analysis.
Yeah, things like that. But they strongly warned against just letting AI write everything. You still need human expertise, creativity, SEO fundamentals guiding it.
Makes sense. Human oversight.
Definitely. And one more, maybe slightly sobering point from Arif's. Relying only on Google traffic can be risky. Algorithms change. Things fluctuate.
So diversify.
Exactly. Apply those SEO skills to other platforms too. YouTube, Pinterest, wherever your audience might be. Build resilience.
Smart advice. Okay, now the Arval video, they had a slightly different take, focusing on ranking on AI search engines like ChatGPT.
Yeah, although they framed it less as ranking and more as being recommended or cited.
Ah, okay, subtle difference.
But important. Their key insight was that these large language models, these LLMs, they gather info from everywhere. Websites, videos, social media, the whole web.
So to get recommended, you need
a comprehensive online presence. Good info about your brand everywhere. Informative blog posts, engaging videos, detailed website pages, active social media.
So the AI can find lots of good stuff about you.
Precisely. And interestingly, they pointed out that having strong classic SEO, being well positioned on Google and Bing already, is actually the foundation for getting recommended by AI.
Why is that?
Because the AI often uses that readily available indexed information to build its knowledge base in the first place.
Ah, it learns from the existing web. So being visible there helps it find and trust you.
That seems to be the logic. They also noted different AIs might have biases, like Microsoft's Grow might lean on Bing data. Perplexity might favor YouTube content.
Interesting. But the underlying message was similar to Ahrefs, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Ultimately, creating high-quality, valuable content is still essential. AI recommendations are largely based on the quality and usefulness of the information they can find and understand.
Okay. So as we bring this deep dive to a close, wow, we've really covered a lot of ground today.
We certainly have.
We've unpacked those distinctions, AEO, GEO, LLM, SEO. We've gone deep into optimizing your Google business profile for, what's coming in 2025.
Lots of practical steps there.
And we've tried to connect it all to the bigger picture, this evolving SEO landscape with AI changing the game.
We really hope this has given you, the listener, a much clearer understanding of these vital concepts.
Okay.
And maybe equipped you with some practical strategies you can start thinking about.
Yeah, our goal is always to give you that in-depth knowledge, but quickly and efficiently. We hope this deep dive hit the mark, offered some clarity, some actionable takeaways for your own online presence.
Hopefully.
So here's maybe a final thought to really chew on as we wrap up. Considering everything we've discussed today, how can you immediately start integrating these insights, to build a stronger, more future-proof online presence for your business or brand?
Yeah, what's the first step?
Exactly. Which of these areas, mastering the new SEO acronyms, really nailing your GBP optimization, or maybe focusing hard on creating that comprehensive, valuable content for both humans and AI? Which one feels like the biggest opportunity or maybe the biggest challenge for you right now?
It's a good question to ponder.
It is. And hey, you might even want to revisit some of those source videos we mentioned if a specific area really sparked your interest and you want to go even deeper.